doesn't look too happy.
Must be the guy who phoned in.
Mr. Draper!
Am I glad to see you? Thought I was going to have to get in there. Turn the engine off, but you can't go kicking the door in, can you? Only came round to try and get some money out of him.
No good, I can't see anything. Oh, you, does he?
Yeah, nearly £2 grand, roofing tiles and that.
Oh, what is he running that thing on? Keepers? Can you see anything?
Yeah, there's definitely someone in there, all right?
Thompson?
Yeah, could be.
God, what is that stink? No, it's not car exhaust, I'll tell you that. Oh, that is definitely evil. Right, let's not hang about in there, all right? Sierra Oscar from 517 receiving over.
Suicide attempt?
Attempt? Thompson's dead. There's not any car exhaust either. There's some form of toxic gas. Gary and Mike are over there throwing up.
Gas?
Yeah, I sent for the fire brigade and ambulance. Kathy and Dave are going over there to assist.
Someone's got to talk to Thompson's wife.
I'll get Reg onto it.
And let's see ID know, all right?
Right.
You all right?
Yeah, great.
You smell that stuff. What is it?
I don't know, but he's got one hell of a kick. You all right, Mr. Draper? He never even went inside. I haven't felt this bad since my cousin's own brew.
Was he dead when you went in?
Yeah, we worked on him anyway.
Oh, what a way to go.
Dave Reynolds, station officer.
Right.
You all right?
It'd be a lot better if we knew what it was.
Yeah. Well, what did you see in there?
There's this stuff on the floor. Pellets, it looked like. That's where the gas was coming from.
Pellets. What kind of pellets?
Yeah, grey ones, in a paint lid or something, all frothing up.
Is there any sign of a container or packaging?
Not that we saw.
Who's he?
Named Peter Thompson. It's his yard. Or was.
Right. I'll get a couple of firefighters in there with breathing apparatus, see what they can find.
So Thompson's got a GBH charge hanging over him. I can't see him losing any sleep over it. He's hardly got an unblemished reputation to maintain. On it, Alan. That break-in at Thompson's ex-business partners.
Jerry Evans.
You getting anywhere with it?
Not really, no. Evans swears that it was Thompson, of course. Well, you can see his point. He'd only just got a kicking off Thompson.
But what's it all about?
Well, Thompson put up some money for Evans to get started in the pest control business, but a couple of weeks ago wanted his money out and Evans wouldn't let him have it.
So Evans reckons he's in the burglary business as well as GBH, eh?
Yeah. Why, what's happened?
Thompson topped himself this morning.
You are joking.
Yeah, that was my reaction. And he got a crack over the head. I wonder how the hell he got that.
Anyway, thought you'd want to know.
Yeah. Cheers, Matthew.
You know, that doesn't make sense, over a GBH charge.
No, it doesn't, does it?
How did he do it?
Filled his office with toxic gas mixed with car exhaust.
Oh, that's a new one. He wasn't playing Wagner and the stereo at the same time, was he?
Right, come on, move back, get out of the way of the van. Come on, quick
Coming
as you
through
can.
quickly.
I'm all right now, sir.
Well, you don't look it. I don't want you ending up like Thompson.
Sir.
It's not very clever of your blokes going in there.
They saw a man in trouble.
Yeah, well, they could have got in trouble themselves.
They thought it was worth the risk. That's why they're doing this job and not working for the council.
Look, I'm going to need to warn the residents immediately downwind. Is there any chance of using some of your blokes?
Of course.
Dave!
Just tell them to stay inside, keep windows and doors shut. Those two know what it is we're dealing with. All right. Thank you.
That's something Evans must have plenty of. Chemical nasties. Yeah. He's probably got enough in there to wipe out half of Sunhill.
Maybe that's where Thompson got it. You know, helped himself to stock when he broke in.
Or maybe Evans gave it to him as a leaving present.
Are you saying it wasn't suicide?
I'm going to have a word with Evans. See how he reacts to the bad news, eh?
You looking for Mr. Thompson?
No, Mrs. Thompson.
Well, Haven't seen her this morning. Something wrong?
No, I just wanted to work with her, that's all. You haven't got any idea where she might be, have you?
Oh, I haven't, sorry.
OK, thanks.
It wouldn't surprise me if something had happened. The way they were going at it last night, shouting and bawling.
Oh, yeah?
We heard it right through in our sitting room. We always had the telly on loud. Heard something breaking too.
And then what?
Quiet after that. About 10:30, never heard another thing.
Often round, did they, the two of them?
Yeah, quite a lot lately. Never bothered me though. At least it showed there was someone in this street still alive.
Yeah. Oh, well, cheers, huh?
Thank you, Doctor. Well, we've got the flask it came here, so at least we know what it is we're dealing with.
What is it?
Phosphorid. It's used for killing rats. When it comes into contact with water, it gives off a toxic gas. That's the fishy smell.
And what's the risk to my officers?
I can't say yet.
I'll pass it on to St Hughes. They'll need to get onto the poison centre.
It's nasty, though. A couple of my blokes have gone down.
A rat killer, eh?
Chose himself a hard way to die.
But why mix it with car exhaust?
Or maybe he wanted to confuse the issue. He hasn't got a grudge against the police, has he?
You mean he set it up as a trap?
It's just a thought. Like another one on the way out.
Yeah, we're all right.
Mr. Evans,
Morning.
mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
What about?
Would you leave us for a minute?
Yeah, okay.
What is this?
When's the last time you saw Pete Thompson?
That lunatic, when he gave me this lot.
Sure about that?
What, you think I go drinking with him or something?
Well, I know you're not exactly friendly.
You can see what he's done to me. Nobody forced him to put his money in this business. Then he comes down here telling me he wants out. It's only to see me go under, that's all.
You reckon?
Of course it is. Why, what's he been up to now?
Well, I don't think he'll be giving you any more trouble.
What, you're gonna charge him with the break-in?
He's dead.
You're joking.
Seems he killed himself. Mind you. I don't suppose you'll be sending him flowers, will you, Mr. Evans?
Yep. Yeah, thanks.
There shouldn't be any more risk now the stuff's outside. Reactor's pretty well over now, anyway.
Well, what's the state of the office?
Well, it just needs ventilating, that's all. Should be fine after that.
I had a word with the hospital. They don't think there'll be any long-term health problems.
Good. Well, I think we can lift the curfew.
That's 4 he's managed to put in hospital, sir.
Yes.
I think that's what he wanted.
Station Officer Reynolds thinks so. Wonder what a man in that state of mind might have done to his wife.
Mrs. Thompson was definitely there last night. The neighbours said they had a row.
What about her work? Has she got a job?
She's a florist. Tony and June are on the way over there now.
Good.
Do you think he could have done us some harm?
It's possible, if he topped himself.
If he topped himself?
What's the news on Jarvis and McCann?
I haven't heard. Dave Quinnan's in there as well. I'll let you know as soon as I hear.
Thanks. So what is this stuff?
Phosphorid's the trade name. It's used for killing rats.
That's so. You know, I think it might be worth having a look at Mr. Evans' stock records.
Just what we're going to do.
Oh, really? So you reckon that Evans could have had something to do with it, then?
Well, put it this way. When I spoke to him, I had a feeling I wasn't telling him anything he didn't know already.
You know, if you behave yourself, I might buy you a rose.
Hello there.
Oh dear, they have no break-in next door.
Not as far as we know. No, we're looking for a Mrs. Belinda Thompson.
Yes, so am I.
Is she not in then?
Well, she hasn't turned up. No phone call, no nothing.
Is that unusual? I mean, is she usually unreliable?
Just the opposite. She'd stagger in if she had double pneumonia. Is there something wrong?
Well, we just need to get in touch with her.
Is she in some kind of trouble then?
We hope not, but thank you for your help anyway.
Yeah, I reckon Dave Quinnan only got a whiff of it.
Don't know where he did, George, but then he stumbled out into the street, collapsed, had to give him oxygen.
So what does it do to you, this stuff?
Well, it's phosgene, right? It's the same stuff they used in the First World War. You can't have any effects for years, out there.
Phosgene, Reg? I thought it was phosphorid.
Yeah, it sounds well.
Any chance of you two getting any fresh air?
Sarge.
And stay away from the St. Hughes, will you? Otherwise, I'll be running the relief from casualty.
Yes, Sarge.
I help you?
I'm Detective Inspector Harry Haynes. This is Detective Constable Woods. We're from Sunhill. Is Mr. Evans in?
No, not at the moment.
I wonder if we can have a look at your stock records.
Well, I'm not sure if Mr. Evans... I'm just transferring them all to the computer.
You do have stock records.
Yeah. I expect it'll be all right. What product were you interested in?
Phosphid.
Phosphid. Is that phosphid with an F?
pH.
Should be in this one. There we are. Nothing wrong, is there?
Six flasks. Can you show us where they are?
I'm not sure exactly.
Well, why don't we start with the secure cabinet, hmm?
Yeah, okay. You better come across the yard.
Not you again. What do you want now?
He wants the stock room.
We just want to have a look at your stocks of phosphid, Mr. Evans.
All right, Tamsin, I'll show.
Thanks.
What's this about, anyway? It's usually health and safety come poking around. My God, you're not telling me you did it with phosphid. Oh, I knew he was balmy, but...
If we could just have a look at the stock room, Mr. Evans.
He must have gone completely off his trolley. He could have gassed half of Sun Hill.
He nearly did.
There you are.
I thought this was supposed to be a secure place.
Yeah, it is, usually. Somebody must have forgot.
There should be 6 flasks of phosphid. Where's the other 4?
Thompson must have lifted them when he did the place over. A blooming nutter.
And you only found out now? We asked you for a complete list.
Well, how's I supposed to know he's going to come in here? It was money he was after. Well, he's not going to clear his debts with a couple of dozen pellets of rat poison, is he?
Well, he must have had something else in his mind. I suggest you have a good look for those missing flasks, Mr. Evans. And if you find them, you will tell us, won't you?
Well, that sorts out how Thompson got the phosphid.
Does it?
Well, who else would break in to steal rat poison, Guff? It's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it?
That's not how I see it. There's no proper up-to-date records. There's no evidence the cabinet was broken into. What does that suggest?
Well, you tell me.
Someone hasn't had time to cover their traces. Thompson's body was only found 2 hours ago. Evans just hasn't got round to it yet. It's hardly likely to enter that he's drawn 4 flasks of lethal poison under today's date.
So how do you explain the break-in 2 weeks ago, then?
Well, nothing was taken, was it?
Well, exactly. Because Evans said Thompson was after money, and there was no money on the premises.
But Thompson trashed the place, if it was him.
Well, Thompson wasn't a very happy man, Gov.
Yeah, well, I can think of other ways of getting money back, other than trashing places and dumping people. He must be a raving lunatic.
Was a raving lunatic, Gov.
We're outside Thompson's house now, sir. There's still no sign of Mrs. Thompson. I think it's time we had a look inside.
So do I, June. Keep me posted.
Let's go in.
Right.
Mrs. Thompson, please.
I'll look upstairs.
Yeah, okay.
No, there's nobody upstairs. Blimey. Somebody's lost their rag in here.
Yeah. I wonder what else they broke.
That could account for Thompson's crack on the head.
So what's happening? Well, they're not being kept in, so Monroe sent them home.
The best thing.
What's that, Matthew? The whole relief?
No, sir. Gary and Dave. Mike's staying in for observation.
He's okay, isn't he?
I think so, considering it was poison gas.
Bit of a choker, eh?
Yeah.
The fire chief thinks Thompson was having a go at us.
Oh, I can't see it.
No? Then why set up the car exhaust?
Probably just making sure.
Belt and braces?
It could be.
So how does Evans explain the missing flasks?
He reckons Thompson must have lifted them in that break-in, sir.
So why didn't they check the storeroom?
But he claims he had no reason to. He just assumed that Thompson would be after cash.
I'd say it stinks.
Just a bit.
When's the PM report due?
There might be a slight delay there, Jack. They reckon the body's still hazardous. All that gas.
Well, I reckon it's time we got Mr. Evans in, don't you?
I still don't see what we're pulling him in for, Gov. There's no evidence that Evans actually did anything.
No, but he knows something, and a lot more than he's telling us. Anyone that's been thumped, had his place trashed, and has managed to lose enough poison to restage the Battle of the Somme has got to be a little more than accident prone. Hmm? We'd like another word with Mr. Evans.
Afraid you can't. He's gone out.
Well, if you can tell us where he's working, you can phone him and tell him we're on our way.
He's not on a job.
Where's he gone?
Said he had to go home, out your business. Shall I?
No. Leave it. We'll surprise him, eh?
Here's his van. This must be it. It's a funny time to come home.
I reckon his secretary thought so too.
Maybe he came back for his mouse traps.
Hello, Mr. Evans.
This is getting stupid.
If you wouldn't mind coming down the station with us, we've still got a few questions we want to ask you.
You what?
We're very worried about those missing flasks.
Sorry. I've got a business to run.
Yeah, well, if you wouldn't mind, Mr. Evans.
Look, I've told you what happened. Thompson lifted him when he turned my place over. Now, the stupid bastard's topped himself. End of story!
But it's not the end of this story.
What is it, Jerry?
It's all right, love.
Detective Inspector Harry Haynes, Sunhill. Do you mind telling me who you are?
Mrs. Thompson. Linda Thompson. I could have understood him not in Jerry about that was right in character. But to turn on himself.
We heard you had money problems.
So what's new? He'd always had money problems.
Did he know about you and Mr. Evans?
I told him a couple of weeks ago. Then last night, I told him I was moving in with Jerry. All right, he was upset. But people get over these things, don't they? They don't go out and kill themselves. That's why he's done it. To ruin my chances of happiness.
Well, you think so, do you?
I knew there was something wrong when Jerry came back from seeing him this morning.
Mr. Evans went to visit him, did he?
Yes, at the yard. Well, he was just going to have it out with Pete, that's all. He threatened to hurt me. Pete had. But Jerry didn't tell me what happened. It wasn't until you.
If you'll excuse me, Mrs. Thompson. I knew he was holding back on something.
It still doesn't make him a killer.
It makes it worth looking beyond the blindingly obvious, though, doesn't it?
I still reckon it's odds on that Thompson topped himself.
We chose a bizarre way of doing it.
Look, he was angry, Gov. Maybe that was his way of getting back at his missus.
Let's look at it another way. Evans goes over to Thompson to get him off his back, once and for all. Now, he's already had a smacking off him, and now he's threatening violence towards his missus.
OK, so Evans has a motive, right?
So Evans goes over to Thompson and finds him out of his mind on whiskey. So he cracks him over the head and turns the place into a gas chamber.
Well, yeah, that's possible.
Too right it is. And if Evans doesn't come up with a better story as to what happened to those missing flasks, he stays in the frame.
OK, sir.
Right. Let's see what he has to say for himself, eh? Thanks, Fred. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Evans.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'm supposed to be doing a council job today. You get behind on a council contract, you don't get a second chance.
Alan. Interview continues. 11:47. Officers present as before. You're still under caution, do you understand? Good.
So what the hell am I being accused of?
Nothing yet.
You're not trying to make out I had something to do with that nutter topping himself, are you? You must be balmy.
Why didn't you tell us you were around in Thompson's yard this morning?
She told you.
What were you doing there, Mr. Evans?
I went there to make him leave us alone, that's all. He'd threatened her, you know. Did she tell you that as well? He's quite capable of giving her a smack, the same as he did to me.
So you thought you put him away for good?
Oh, don't talk stupid. He'd already done himself in by then. He had the pipe on the exhaust and everything.
Save you the bother, eh?
Look, I just wanted to talk to him, that was all. Tell him to stop giving Lindy any more grief.
So you went to reason with the man that put you in hospital just a couple of weeks back?
See, I knew you wouldn't believe it.
You're right, I don't.
Well, that's why I never said anything.
You found Thompson in the act of taking his own life.
I just said, didn't I?
And what did you do then?
Hey?
Pull the pipe out the exhaust, try to turn the ignition off, try to get in. What did you do to save his life?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, what the hell do you think, a tow rag like that?
So you just let him die?
His choice?
Maybe you helped him along a bit, with a couple of your poison pellets, eh?
You're as balmy as he is.
Be nice to get him out of the way, though, wouldn't it? With all that grief he's caused you.
Look, it's obvious. He did himself in with the stuff he nicked out of my store.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Could I have a word, please?
Interview suspended. 11:49. What is it, Susie?
Phone call from the chemical company.
Yeah?
They checked the batch number. They reckon there's no way that flask could have come from Sunkill Pest Control.
They're sure about that?
Well, they seem to be. The numbers are coded, apparently. That one went to a firm in Tottenham last week. Thompson must have got it from there. You okay, Gov?
Yeah. Thanks, Susie.
Okay.
Alan. Gov.
Thompson didn't get the phosphid from Evans.
So that puts him out of frame.
You were right all the time, Alan.
Yeah, well, you had me wondering, though, Gov. Especially when Evans admitted going to Thompson's yard, you know.
It's a terrible thing what he did.
What's that?
Doing nothing.
Mike!
Hello, sir.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm all right. They reckon my heart rate's not right yet.
Well, that was a good effort this morning.
Oh, shame he didn't produce a better result.
I'm probably giving you mouth-to-mouth that landed you up in here.
Oh, I didn't have a lot of choice, really.
No.
So it was suicide, you reckon, sir?
Mrs. Thompson's convinced it was. She reckons he did it out of spite.
You'd really have to have it in for someone, wouldn't you? I mean, to leave him with a legacy like that.
We won't be detaining you any longer, Mr. Evans.
Oh, I can go, can I?
Yeah.
That's about time. Dragging me all the way down here. You want to get out there after all these muggers and ram raiders.
Just trying to get at the facts, Mr. Evans. Thanks for your cooperation.
You're a waste of space, you lot. There should be a law against police wasting people's time like this.
There ought to be a law against people like you, but unfortunately there isn't. See you, Matt, will you?
Mr. Evans?